Okay. Now remember the steps. Now, simple thing. Whenever you're going for the introduction, it's a 5 things I'm going to explain in a very brief manner. It's a greetings to everyone. I, on the behalf of whatever is your name, you can mention or you can skip that part, is going to introduce the group discussion topic. The topic of today's discussion is you have to explain that topic. Clear? Third is about explaining the topic. Fourth is adding an introductory line to that topic. The introductory line can be that we all know that the global concerns are increasing and we need to shift towards the EVs. Whatsoever can be an introductory line. And your viewpoint needs to add. Fourth is about your viewpoint. That yes, according to my viewpoint, India is ready for EVs, right? And you can provide a reason and then you open the house for discussion. This is a manner how you need to introduce in a group task or group discussion, okay? Then you can go for positive opinions, negative opinions. You can go for both the siders. So it's your choice. You can be neutral even in this topic. So it's all your perspectives. It's not a debate that you have to fix your pointers to one direction. आपको fix करने की जरूरत नहीं है. Clear? And then comes to conclusion. Conclusion में वही तरह से greetings to everyone. Thank you everyone for your valuable suggestions. We had a great, आप great बोलते हो उसके जगह बोलो valuable group discussion. Different opinions were being exchanged. और अगर किसी का पॉइंटर बहुत अच्छा है, कोई कोट किसी ने बोली है, उसका बोल भी सकते हो. दैट इवन शिवम कोटेड अ वंडरफुल कोट ड्यूरिंग द डिस्कशन एंड द कोट वाज लाइक दैट. जो भी आपकी कोट होगी वो आप बोल सकते हो. उसके बाद आपको नेक्स्ट पॉइंटर ऐड करना है एंड दैट इज योर व्हाट वर द पॉइंटर्स यू बीइंग डिस्कस्ड. सो एवरी कॉइन हैज गॉट टू साइड्स. Similar way, the EVs have got their advantages also, disadvantages. So maybe India is ready also, not ready. Then you can go for the neutral ending. That a positive ending should be there by the end of the discussion. Clear with the opinions, all of you? All of you?
Yeah.
Clear. Okay. So the timing for today's discussion will be approximately 12 minutes. After 10 minutes, I'm going to make a beep in this chat box that 2 minutes are remaining. You can compile, you can discuss more, and you can go to that siders if you have missed any dimension. And then we will go for the conclusion by Shivam. Okay, guys? Fine?
Okay.
So yeah. Okay, Tejas, go ahead with the discussion's introduction.
Okay, ma'am. Good afternoon, friends. Myself, Tejas Raute. I'm glad to start the discussion on is India ready for e-vehicles? It is a very interesting topic. I believe that companies such as Maruti Suzuki, Hero Electric Vehicles, Mahindra have started moving towards the e-vehicles. So there is a need for us to shift towards usage of e-vehicles a lot more, because it is to some extent it is eco-friendly. It does not pollute the environment to a greater extent. However, I also believe that the uses of electricity is via burning coal. So there is pollution of ecosystem taking place, but that is only at the one part of this one part of the country, like one region itself. So there are both points. There are both sides with that is India is ready as well, but at the same time India is not ready for electric vehicles as well. I open the house for discussion further.
Tejas, I agree with you because it is ready. It's kind of ready, and the way of generating the electricity should also be structured in a way that it will be strengthened. Because even the electric vehicles are already deployed, the way of electricity is generated, it should be 100% converted. Then it will be efficient way to change into the electrical vehicles. And the sources which we want to build this infrastructure will be like huge, and the resources which we want will be we have found it in Jammu and Kashmir region. Last year we have found that we have 5.9 million tons of lithium available in that area, and remaining source like fossil fuels, whichever mines are there, coal mines, let it be anything, any other resources, they are not 100% utilized. They are like less than 10% utilized. So first, instead of finding the alternatives, we should first use whatever we have already.
Okay, so I would like to add one thing that
Just wait. Are you even guys clear that you need to participate in the group discussion and it's like one pointer at a time? The way introduction is being done by Tejas, it's wrong. Samarth, you're giving the pointers that are wrong. That's not the way, actual way in a group discussion. I'll tell your mistakes also. I'm listening it very carefully. But please, others, Samir is there, Nayan is there, Lakshay, Shivam, participate, give your opinions. You have to make linkage. Make your pointers in that. Why you're not participating?
Ma'am, I was about to participate, but I've been jotting down the points, so I thought I would maybe
No,
come
that
up
is
in
a
the end.
limit. There you go. Now the time is moving. I told you 12 minutes and then the GD closes it. Number of
No, no,
participants you make?
no. Jotting down the points for the conclusion. So
Okay. So that is okay. But please, everyone, be ready and participate. Okay. It's
yeah,
not like
so
Tejas and Samantha are participating. Go ahead.
okay, so yeah, I'd like to come in. My opinion is that India is probably not ready for electric vehicles right now. And I feel that way because of several incidents that have happened. For instance, of batteries completely exploding. I believe India has a very hot climate, and perhaps EVs are not appropriate to be deployed in India right now. Maybe there is some other engineering mechanism by which we can make EVs which are suitable for Indian climate. But since there hasn't been much development in that direction, I believe the existing electric vehicle infrastructure is not suitable in India right now. Apart from that, there is a lot of charging hassle that comes with electric vehicles. Typically, that is reduced when you use fossil fuels instead for filling up your vehicle tanks because that it can be done quickly, but charging takes a lot of time. So in fact, it slows down the economy and it wastes people time. So that is also one negative of electric vehicles. Apart from that, the speeds are also considerably slower. So, like I said, that slows down the economy as well. Um, and apart from that, as my friends have pointed out already, the the sources of electricity that are being used to charge these electric vehicles are fossil fuels themselves. So it becomes kind of pointless, when you were already using fossil fuels to sort of fuel up your gas tanks, and then now you have electric vehicles instead of it, where you are charging them using electricity, but that electricity is being produced through fossil fuels. So it's sort of pointless. It's like adding several extra steps. What we really need is a more fundamental energy transition towards renewable sources like hydro, like solar, maybe nuclear, right? So I feel that India hasn't reached the stage of maturity where we are ready for electric vehicles yet. Uh, and yeah, that is my take on this topic.
Uh, I would like to add one point that since the, the the conventional vehicles uses fuels such as petrol and diesel, these are getting depleted. So there is abundance of coal available. So there would be need at one point to shift towards electric vehicles strictly. So and the as far as Shivam said that the infrastructure in India is not so good. We could develop measures. We can take measures to develop it uh, slowly. Uh, Also, I would like to add one more point. As Shivam rightly mentioned, that the electric vehicles have less torque carrying capacity and less power as well. So it is not feasible for us to travel large miles using electric vehicles. But we can use electric vehicles for last mile traveling, and it could be for last mile traveling. So that could be reduction, because in cities where traffic congestion and all is taking place, there uh, uh, it is not appropriate to use. Uh, it could be an alternate for diesel and petrol engines. So electric vehicles could be used for last mile traveling. At the same time, I would also like to add that since India has been host for G20 and several climate agreements have been made. It is a need for us to shift towards electric vehicles. Uh, I would like to add one more point. Hybrid vehicles of electric and petrol could be an alternative solution can be an alternative solution for using both diesel and electric both. At the same time, I also disagree for using electric vehicles, because CNG is a substitute fuel in place of electric vehicles. So
And one more thing for the sources, we can add solar because we can push that source solar energy because as the International Solar Alliance is going on and the target of 2030 is reaching, rooftop solar panels are getting installed. And with that energy, it will be easy for the electricity generation part because instead of using the fossil fuels, we can use our own electrical source and we can even sell it to the government and we can earn that money. So that can be easily solved. So I would say that it is a easy transformation, but we should take it individual way.
Okay, I would like to add.
The reason I think the
Okay,
reason why India
good.
is not ready is because there isn't enough charging infrastructure in our country, and covering India as a whole with the charging infrastructure will itself take decades because it's a big country. It's not like a small country where you can uh, place a few charging stations. It will take very uh, high amount of finance to dedicate, and the resources that have to be dedicated for this will slow down the economy of India.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's why I'm
so
telling like instead of setting up the stations, we can go in individual way so that it will become like a charger in our home for our phone. So
okay, I would like to
That's
add.
right, but the energy that we get in a home is merely like 2 kilowatts for a typical home, and it goes up to 5 kilowatts, which is not enough for charging an EV.
Okay. So yeah, I would like to add that if you look at like the majority of petroleum and diesel where they are being spent right now, we will probably realize that it is largely utilized in heavy duty applications. For example, freight, the trains, the trucks, etc. And electric vehicles by and far are only designed for like small vehicles for normal applications, as they just remarked last mile traveling. So mainly only can be used by individuals or by families at best. I don't think it would create a lot of dent in the consumption in the CO2 production that we have right now. And frankly, if you look at the trade-off of what we have to compromise and the kind of infra that we will have to build to accommodate them, the trade-off just doesn't make sense to me. So yeah, that is one point that I would like to add.
Yeah, I would also like to add one more point. As someone mentioned that solar energy is very dilute form of energy. But yeah, it could be a possible solution because not entire solar energy could be converted into electricity in a large form. But it could be a possible for us to set up solar plants in remote places uh, where it could extract electricity in abundance and it could charge only a few vehicles. But solar energy is not a substitute in for major cities and all. Solar energy could be converted into electricity and then be used. So I think, yeah, okay. So that we could develop
The
solar.
thing is,
Okay, say
the thing is,
go on.
India is already very heavily dependent on fossil fuels right now. I guess if I'm not wrong, India uses almost 60% of the electricity that is produced is through fossil fuels. So adding a like adding a thing like EV is going to further increase the demand of electricity, and India is not currently able to fulfill the demand of electricity with sustainable sources. The hydroelectric dams are built, but they are simply not enough right now to power the EV infrastructure in our country. It will simply
Shivam, you can summarize now.
Yeah, sure. So to conclude, it was a very healthy discussion with a mix of viewpoints from both sides. So for conclusion, I'd like to remark that so Tejas said that he introduced by uh, saying that companies are quickly trying to transition towards EVs and moving towards EVs. EVs is the need of the hour because they're obviously more eco-friendly, and they will have less pollution as well. And then Somanath agreed with him, and he remarked that in Jammu and Kashmir, 5.1 million tons of lithium was found. So that was an interesting point. Apart from that, they just remarked that there is an abundance of coal, and we need to utilize the electricity produced through that to sort and channelize it towards EVs. Uh, but EVs are obviously not feasible for larger mines and not for heavy duty applications as well. So they can only be used for last mile traveling. And India has been a host in G20, and so we obviously have made a commitment towards trying to establish some climate goals and reach them. So we should transition more towards electric vehicles. And, then the other points that were raised were by Somnath, where he said that solar energy should be used, and Narayan said that there is not enough charging infrastructure, and building that infrastructure will obviously consume time and resources. And my points were largely around how batteries are exploding, so they're obviously unsafe, and the climate of India is largely hot. Apart from that, I also remarked that the electricity being used is directly produced through fossil fuels, so it's kind of pointless. And apart from that, we require a more fundamental transition towards renewable energy. So I think that was the crux of the discussion, and I think we ended on a great neutral point. So we said that there is perhaps a sort of dilemma around whether we can transition towards it or not, and there is no specific conclusion we could reach throughout the discussion.
Guys, see, to be very honest, this was the pathetic GD I ever had in my life till now. You guys were really, I don't know if you have done GDs before or it's your first time. Because the way you are portraying your ideas, the way it's looking like a debate, like everyone is coming about and they're speaking their pointers. It's not an essay writing, essay speaking competition or something. It's a GD. It's a group discussion at a timer. The starting was done by, I think, Tejas, right? And the introduction. It was not the way you actually introduce a topic. आप खुद ही पहले इन पॉइंट देके खुद ही उसके पॉजिटिव भी बता रहे हो नेगेटिव बता रहे हो आप ओपन हाउस क्या कर रहे हो ओपन हाउस इज व्हेन यू गिव वन पॉइंटर एट दैट टाइम आपको सारा पॉइंट नहीं बोलना होता और उसके बाद जैसे सुमंत ने पार्टिसिपेशन की शिवम ने की आप लोग एक ही पॉइंटर में 10-10 चीजें बता रहे हो भाई इज दिस अ जीडी जीडी इज यू आर डिस्कसिंग वन थिंग एंड यू आर मूविंग टू द नेक्स्ट आप लोग को ये हो रहा है एंड शिवम इट्स नॉट द वे यू कंक्लूड आई थिंक वी हैड ऑलरेडी डिस्कस्ड इट आउट आल्सो हर पर्सन के पॉइंट बताने की जरूरत नहीं होती है मैं नोट कर रहा हूँ और उसने सुमन ने ये बोला तेजस ने बोला इट्स ऑलवेज अबाउट गिविंग सम डिफरेंट पॉइंटर्स person is listening okay so the person knows कि किसने क्या point बोला it is all about like suppose someone gave a very extraordinary example मारुति सुजुकी या किसी का example दे दिया so वहां पे बोलोगे आप that according to the conclusion there were some people who were in the favor that yes India is ready and some believe that India is not ready yet obviously the improvements are always welcomed by our Indian culture and government is promoting those things also some acceptable points that yes, India is ready states that yes, you can call about that Delhi pollution is increasing, or we can call it out the fossil fuels. They are huge, they're depreciating on a huge level. So we need to move towards the EVs. Or you can call about the lithium ion extracts, which were being found in the Jammu, J&K, that area. So these are some perspectives of what government policies, the FAME policy which has been taken by government. But on the other hand, like infrastructure of India is still not ready. The EVs, they are not giving an extra mileage. The awareness needs to be increased. Such are the pointers which make us feel that yes, India is still not ready. But on the huge level or on the basic level, we can state it out that every day there is a scope of improvement. India is improving at a par. And yes, one day by you can say the goal of India is that yes, it will be reaching that stage super soon. And we all are looking forward to it. A positive ending. And what kind of ending you guys gave it? It's totally different. Similar way in the introduction, Sumant, it should be simple like, good morning, everyone. The topic of today's group discussion is a serious concern, and it's a question for all of us. Is India ready for EVs? And looking forward to this thing, I would say that yes, the global warming is increasing at par. We need to think about the fossil fuels also. And that is the state that we need to fix, or you can say the flux our things towards the EVs. And due to that, I think that yes, according to me, India is still ready for EVs. Giving to the pointer sector one thing, only one pointer you need to mention. And then you open the house for discussion. Then there is no linkage. Everyone is pumping their pointers. Lambe points there ho tum beech mein. I don't know where you are actually going. आपको Delhi pollution के बारे में सबको पता है? Odd even के बारे में सबने सुना था? Some basic thing I'm saying you right now. Example क्यों नहीं देते हो वैसे? I always told you in GD what is going to make you different from others is some extraordinary examples you give, some kind of you can call relating to those incidents, some government policies that you're introducing. That is what is going to make you different from others. I can give you several pointers like Delhi में pollution हुआ तो shift होना जरूरी हो चुका है, otherwise बहुत different हो जाएगा. बहुत big companies है Maruti and all that, they are leading. वहां पे अब वो EVs में move कर चुके हैं, जैसे तेजस ने भी ये pointers बोले थे. Climate change एक big concern है. अभी हमने देखा है कि बहुत एरियाज में ये रिसेंटली देयर वाज इन पंजाब एंड अदर एरियाज बहुत फ्लड्स, वाटर की बहुत मतलब अनएक्सपेक्टेड रेनफॉल्स हो रही थी, जिसकी वजह से एग्रीकल्चर भी बहुत ज्यादा इट वाज लाइक डिप्रिशिएटिंग एंड ऑल दैट। तो उसका भी बोल सकते हो कि इस वजह से भी हमें ईवीज में मूव करना पड़ रहा है। पब्लिक ट्रांसपोर्ट इज बीइंग प्रमोटेड बाय गवर्नमेंट एंड दैट इज व्हाई ईवीज की तरफ जा रहे हैं। R&D सेक्टर, फेम पॉलिसी जो गवर्नमेंट ने दी है, फाइनेंशियल वो सपोर्ट प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं जो लोग ईवीज को बाय करना चाहते हैं। जीएसटी ईवीज पे कम है, 12% की जगह 5% है। सरकार बेनिफिट देने की कोशिश करिए कि खरीदो ईवीज। ओला बाइक्स खरीदोगे तो कहीं पे पार्किंग फीस नहीं लगेगी, ये भी सरकार की पॉलिसी है कि लोग ईवी की तरफ मूव करें। या फिर आप बोल सकते हो कि ऑयल को इंपोर्ट करने में बहुत पैसा लगता है, तो वो ऑयल के इंपोर्ट को पैसे कम करने के लिए हमें यहाँ पे मूव करना पड़ेगा। लिथियम आयन बैटरीज की तरफ क्या है, इनकी लेस कॉस्ट इफेक्टिवनेस, मतलब आपको ज्यादा वो नहीं करना पड़ रहा है, और इनके एक्सट्रैक्ट फाइंड किए गए हैं इंडियन एरियाज में। दैट इज वाई इंडिया इज रेडी। ये इंडिया के रेडी नहीं है तो चार्जिंग स्टेशन नहीं है भाई हमारे पास। पावर थेफ्ट किस किस ने सुना हुआ है? पावर थेफ्ट बहुत ज्यादा होता है, कैसे कोई विश्वास कर लेगा कि हाँ बाद में बिजली नहीं चोरी होगी? या फिर आप बोल सकते हो अगर हम भी जाते हैं, लाइक यू कुड हैव आस्क्ड दिस क्वेश्चन अमंगस्ट ऑल। आई आस्क यू गाइस, हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू हैव ईवीज एट योर होम? How many of us, all 6 people, how many of us have EVs at our home? Anyone? Raise your hands. None is there. This is what we lack awareness as of now. Why? Because we always go for कि maximum जो mileage है, maximum speed है, maximum speed है, वो EVs की ज्यादा नहीं है, वो उसकी ज्यादा। लाइफ किसकी ज्यादा है? फ्यूल की ज्यादा है। और यही अवेयरनेस अगर हम में नहीं है तो हाउ कैन यू एक्सपेक्ट फ्रॉम द पीपल हु आर लिविंग इन द विलेजेस एंड ऑल दैट? ये क्वेश्चन इस तरह से डिस्कशन में पॉइंटर्स आएंगे तो आप लोगों की डिस्कशन अच्छी बनेगी, तो आपके पॉइंटर्स अच्छे बनेंगे, तो आप जीडी में आगे मूव कर सकते हो। जिस तरह के अभी दे रहे हो, प्लीज डोंट डू इट। ठीक है, कुछ क्लियर हुआ जीडी करना कैसे है? इसमें और भी बहुत पॉइंटर्स है, इफ आई कैन गो इट फॉर लाइक, चार्ज करने में टाइम बहुत लगता है, कहीं बीच में खराब हो गया तो उसकी बैटरी की हमारे पास है नहीं। जो इंडिया की रोड्स देख लो, दे आर नॉट वेरी गुड, राइट? ईवीज मूव करने में उनकी लाइफ वैसे ही खत्म हो जाती है, तभी तो बोलते हैं ऑटोमेटिक व्हीकल्स नहीं लेने चाहिए, लाइफ लॉन्ग नहीं है, मतलब लाइफ इज नॉट देयर। आप लोग के घर में फ्यूल व्हीकल्स पड़े होंगे बहुत साल पुराने, आई थिंक मिनिमम 10 years होंगे सबके घरों में। एंड दिस इज समथिंग यू कुड आस्क इन फॉर्म ऑफ क्वेश्चंस आल्सो गाइस, यू कैन पार्टिसिपेट। ठीक है, ये चीजों को रखो, रियल लाइफ इंसिडेंट से नरेट करो, एक टाइम पे एक पॉइंटर डिस्कस करो, मेक इट अ हेल्दी डिस्कशन, स्पीड में मत चलने की कोशिश करो। कल मैं टॉपिक दूंगी, आई एम वेरी क्लियरली सेकिंग यू आउट, पढ़ के आ जाना चाहे, क्लाइमेट चेंज पे होगा, इकोनॉमी से लिंक्ड होगा। ओके तो हो सके, क्योंकि अभी आप बिल्कुल ही प्रिपरेशन मोड पे नहीं हो, तो दैट इज व्हाई आई एम गिविंग यू एन आइडिया। इन्वायरमेंट पे टॉपिक होगा, क्लाइमेट चेंज पे टॉपिक होगा, पढ़ के आना, थोड़ा सा आइडिया लेकर आना कि है क्या उसमें, चाहे आप SDGs whatever you want to read about, I'm not revealing you the topic as of now, बट जो जो हम पॉइंटर्स डिस्कस करते हैं उसको थोड़ा सोचो और थोड़ा पार्टिसिपेट करो। क्लियर ऑल ऑफ यू? एनी प्रॉब्लम टू एनीवन? GDs लगा रहे हो तुम लोग रेगुलर, लाइक लास्ट 3 days you had the GDs?
Yeah, yesterday we had, and day like 3 days before also we had.
Like you have participated before, but it does not look like you have participated. Okay, so this should not be the way. From tomorrow onwards, I'm going to take it at the approximately same time or at 3 p.m. Be there, guys. And just I gave you the topic also. It will be on the climate change and related to environment. Clear? Add your quotes. If you can remember the quotes also, go ahead with that. Hindi quote welcome hai bhai. English mein do, mix blend kar do, koi problem. And Sameer and Nayan participate a bit.
Ma'am.
I'm
So
Samir here.
जैसे-
I was here just for observing. because
Okay, you
I
are
thought-
for Nayan. नेटवर्क थोड़ा बेटर रखना, क्योंकि आपके मे भी पार्टिसिपेशन में बीच में नेटवर्क बैरियर भी था, बट थोड़ा पार्टिसिपेशन इंक्रीज करो अपना। ओके चलो, ऑल द बेस्ट गाइस। एनी प्रॉब्लम टू एनीवन?
यस मैम, मैं बोल रहा था मैम, जैसे आपने जो पॉइंटर्स दिए ना, वो लार्जली लाइक इट्स अबाउट रिमेम्बरिंग फैक्ट्स, मतलब आपको पहले से पता होने चाहिए तो।
कुछ हाँ, ऑब्वियसली सी मैंने आपको स्टार्टिंग में एक चीज बोली शिवम, आई गिव यू द टॉपिक ऑफ एवरी साइड। ईवीज का मैं आपको एक रखूंगी, इन्वायरमेंट का रखूंगी, क्लाइमेट का रखूंगी, आपको पॉलिटी का रखूंगी, सोशल का रखूंगी। जैसे जैसे आप करते रहोगे आपके 10 टॉपिक्स हो जाएंगे, 10 के हर एक के कुछ कुछ पॉइंटर्स। और देखना एक अवेयरनेस वाला पॉइंट होगा, वो सब में आएगा। कुछ पॉइंटर्स 3 पॉइंटर्स होंगे, मैं आपको बाद में बताऊंगी, आफ्टर 3 GDs एटलीस्ट कुछ पॉइंटर्स सेम होंगे, वो आपको हर GD में काम आएंगे। एनी GD यू टेक इट आउट, बट देयर इज ऑलवेज अ वे। और कुछ फैक्ट्स आपको रिमेंबर करने पड़ेंगे, ठीक है? वो कुछ कुछ तो याद करना पड़ेगा आपको। गोल्स है, SDG के पे टॉपिक आ गया तो SDG के कुछ सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल्स याद करने पड़ेंगे ना, टारगेट्स याद करने पड़ेंगे, तो एटलीस्ट हमें नॉलेज भी होनी चाहिए। एजुकेशन सेक्टर है, एनईपी पढ़ना पड़ेगा 2020, थोड़ा सा पढ़ना पड़ेगा, सारा नहीं, बट इन्फॉर्मेशन होगी। तो हम सभी की ग्लांस करेंगे ताकि आपका कोई एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी वहां पे पॉइंट काम आ जाए। Clear? That is the way we will go for. But keep on noting, make your pointers, jot down your notes, notepad लगा लो भाई, और रोज लिखते रहो कि क्या क्या पढ़ा है, और इससे तुम्हारा GDs बहुत अच्छा रहेगा। After 10 days you will see yourself, yeah, we are doing really good in the GDs. Okay? Clear?
मैम आप हमें हम लोग को लिस्ट दे सकते हो क्या टॉपिक्स का, तो हम लोग थोड़ा पढ़ लें उन्हें।
I've already given it out. Tomorrow I'll do that. मैं आपको लिखवा दूंगी टॉपिक, ठीक है? Okay guys. And this topic already have a documentation on the website. अगर पढ़ना हुआ, documentation मैंने बना के अपलोड करवाई हुई है, ठीक है? तो वहां से पढ़ लेना, टाइप इट आउट, आपको मिल जाएगा हमारा। ओके ओके गाइस, टेक केयर, बाय बाय।